Okay, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tony. I am playing Stardew Valley with my sister, and today we are going to be talking about... I think we're going to be talking about creepy men. I think that's today's. So I'm going to unpause with Hal and... Okay, hello?
Hello.
Hello, today the first one on our list is creepy men.
Creepy men. Oh,
Yep.
we could go on for a long time about this.
Yes, I'm sure we could. Alright, so basically we are going to be talking about creepy men and our experiences with them.
Yeah, all right. This is going to be fun.
Yeah. It's going to be something, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Alright,
Oh, snowmen and ice sculptures. That's fun.
oh,
Oh,
hi Pierre.
same.
Great. Thanks for letting me know, buddy. Don't worry, Pierre. I'm not going to go to Jojo Mart.
Aw. Up here, he's so worried.
I know. He does not have to worry. I would never.
We're loyal customers.
Oh, the festival of the ice is tomorrow. Do you want to go to the mines again and see if we can get some gold?
Yeah, we can do that. Oh, I should get food then.
Yeah, grab some food. If you don't have any, let me know because I have some in my thing.
There should be some in here, right?
Probably.
What is a cave carrot? We have
Oh, cave
cave
carrots are
carrots.
good. I think. I'm pretty sure that they give you a decent amount of stuff.
Do we need them for anything?
Eventually we can use them in recipes, but...
But you don't need them for like the community center?
Oh, let me check.
I'm just gonna take some corn for now.
I don't actually know if cave carrots are a community center thing. I'm gonna check right now.
Okay. I'm gonna head towards the mine. I'll meet you over there. Okay, so creepy men. Alright, so should we start with our first memories of creepy
Oh, we
men?
already did our cave carrot that we needed. But sure, we
Okay,
can
cool.
do that.
Okay, you can go first.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I feel bad saying this, but it was Big Doug.
Oh, was it really?
Yep, because as soon as I started getting boobs, he immediately started making comments, not only to me, but to his sons about me.
Oh god.
Yep.
Gross.
And then they would repeat it back because, you know, that was their dad that said it, so they didn't know any better.
Right. They were just young.
Yeah. And although to Doug's credit, he really didn't. He seemed mildly uncomfortable by the whole situation.
Yeah, that
Little
seems
Doug,
like
yes,
yeah.
obviously.
Doug is just such a genuinely good guy.
He really is. He's a sweetheart. But
For
yeah,
me,
that's-
For me, it was a family. I don't want to say name. I don't want to say a name, but
I wonder
for
if
me, it
that's
was
who I was thinking because I almost said a family member first.
yeah, it was a family member who wasn't actually a family member, but it was a friend of mom and dad's.
Uh-huh.
We called a family member.
Yep. Tall.
Yeah, tall and blonde.
That's the one. That was actually what I was going to say for the first one.
Yeah, because he was the first one to start making comments about my boobs.
Yep.
And it was so unbelievably creepy because that person, like, I know it would have been creepy no matter what, but that person was seen as family. So, like, good lord.
Yep. He may have been the real first one, but I didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he may have actually been the actual first one. But I don't remember if it was him who said it first because obviously, you know, we lived right across the street from the other ones, so I saw them a lot more often, so it may have been him first, but it might not have been. It might have been that other family member.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure I've told you the story, the other story of that guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy took it a step farther with some creepy drunk groping when I was very, very young.
Uh-huh, yeah, and I actually have always wondered if
Yeah. Yeah, me too. But, obviously that's not something you're going to ask about. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was my first experience. And just to point out, I was 9,
Yeah.
9 years old. So that was and I don't even know if that was my first experience with creepy men, but that was my first, like, noted one where, like, I really noticed it and took,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one
So,
that I distinctly remember.
yeah, that was disgusting. And I was already so insecure about my body because I was a baby, like a baby at that point. And
Yep.
I was, and like, mom had already, like, uncomfortably pointed out my boobs in front of people. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, not having any made mom very, uh,
Vocal?
well, no, I was gonna say, like, unaware of how
Oh,
it
yeah,
feels
of
to
how,
be in, like, 4th or 5th grade and suddenly be, like, a C cup.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's not a fun time.
It's really not. It's so uncomfortable. And if my daughters take after me, I'm definitely going to handle it very differently because I've already
Uh-huh.
started talking to them. Well, the other thing is that mom never really, like, discussed that kind of stuff with me. It was just like all of a sudden I had them and she wanted to take note of them, and I was like, don't do that.
Yep, exactly.
But if she had been like, and if she had just kind of like, been like, yeah, eventually you're going to get some boobs and it's not really a big deal, we'll get you a bra when it happens and
Well,
whatever.
and my middle child had someone who was a family member try to point out chest size at a, when it started to happen, and I immediately shut it down. I was like,
Yeah.
you will not speak of my child's body in any way.
No.
And
No.
I
And,
got
like,
a little bit of attitude and pushback, but I didn't care.
no, because that's such a weird, creepy thing to do.
Exactly, especially for
And, like,
an
I
older
mean,
male
if you're,
relative.
oh, 100%. Well, and if you're like, if you're the mom and you're like, hey, like, I noticed, um, you could be getting close to puberty, let me know if you need anything. Or just whatever, just like a small comment, but not like harp on it forever and like make it a thing. And,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's a problem. Oh, and like I told Callie because she was talking herself about someday getting boobs and now she's excited
Oh gosh.
to have them. And I was like, well, sweetie, if you're like me, it's gonna be like 2 years until you start getting boobs. So, and she's like, really? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, that's so soon. And I was like, it sure is. But she was like enthusiastic about it. So I was like, all right, like,
For you, I guess.
yeah, like, if you're all right with that.
But
And
yeah.
then I asked her why she wanted them, and she said because they make shirts look better.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Oh no.
Though. Like there are some instances where
I didn't even realize I was so low on health. Damn it.
Oh no, did you die?
Yeah.
All right, well, make sure that you didn't lose anything super important. If you did, go to the guild and get it back, and I'll stay in the mines.
Oh no, just a bomb and corn.
Oh, okay, good. Must be a good luck day.
Yeah, but I'm gonna leave because my health is really low and so is my energy, so.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll go do whatever. I'll come back up when I'm done.
Yeah, I'll come eat and bring this amethyst to Emily.
Oh, there you go. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, we're talking about creepy men. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I spent a large portion of my teenage years with people just feeling like they could just freely talk about my chest and the size of it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it would be people my age, it would be older people, it would be relatives, it would be friends, it would be, people I didn't even really know. And it was especially like it was irritating because like it would be like even like friends of mine would make comments and it's like what is wrong with you? Like, don't do that.
Okay. I remember in middle school, boys constantly, when we would like play Truth or Dare or something, and everybody was like, "I dare you to kiss this person," that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Boys would constantly be like, "I dare you to flash us."
Yep.
And I was like, ugh.
Yeah, I got a lot of, "Oh, you should flash me."
Mm-hmm. Which was so, like, I was like, why? Like, I mean, I know why, but like, why? Like.
Well, and like when I was a teenager, like from I'd say 15 to probably like 7, probably up until like 16 when I started dating Ed, because obviously he was not gonna have this go on. But the guy friends in my life played this game that they called Peekaboo, where they would lift up their shirts and just have the little tip of their little dick hanging out.
Ew.
And say peekaboo.
So gross.
And I remember just, being incredibly unimpressed and, just saying, okay, gross. But, then they would always follow it up with, "Oh, why don't you lift up your shirt and show me?" No,
Yeah.
That was literally an unsolicited dick. So I don't think I'll be doing that.
It's not like you just did me a favor. Like,
yeah, exactly. You did
don't
not
owe
do
you
anything
That was gross.
enjoyable. So,
I
but
can't
yeah,
bring
that
that
was,
down.
and at the time I would just roll my eyes, and but that was borderline creepy.
Yeah, it was sexual harassment.
Yeah, but because it was my close friends, I would just roll my eyes and think of how stupid they were.
Yeah, because yeah, that's so gross, and that was so but we weren't taught that things like that were like sexual harassment or anything, or like that it was anything. It was just like, oh, boys will be boys, that kind of thing. And
exactly.
so it's like,
it was just a running joke around, that, oh, if one of the guys says peekaboo to you, don't look.
Yeah.
Or do, I guess, if you're into that kind of thing, but and at the time, it's not even something that upset me or bothered me. It was just something that I would roll my eyes and ask them why they were showing me their pinky finger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
that's the thing, is people, because, we were all so casual about it because it was normalized, to such a drastic measure for, just guys to be fucking creeps like that. So, now people who haven't grown up and started to understand that that's not acceptable and that that's actually kind of damaging a little bit. It's not like it's, you're psychologically going to be ruined forever because some guy whipped it out at you.
Because I saw the tip of 9 of my friends' penises. I'm not destroyed by that.
But it's just more of you're taught that. Well, yeah, and it's just more, yeah, for anybody. Just it's more of just a thing where you're kind of being taught this person can just force something sexual, even if it's the smallest thing on you, and they don't need your permission. And that's so weird and unpleasant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But there are people now who, because everybody was so casual about it, in the 90s and stuff, they're well, we were, we didn't make a big deal out of it, so I don't know why all these sensitive little, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're all a bunch of snowflakes.
Yeah, because we have decided that we're going to set boundaries for ourselves instead of just letting people do whatever they want to us. Or, sorry, that doesn't make you sensitive. The fact that you're so fucking complacent about being harassed makes you weak, in my opinion.
Exactly. And not to name, I'm not naming any names, but the sons of some of these boys that used to do these things,
yeah, are
not the greatest people, from what I understand from the girls that they date and the parents of the girls that they date.
Lovely. Yeah, because they were never taught that they had to respect women.
Exactly.
To them, it's just women are this sexual game that you play, and if they push back, then they're just too sensitive,
Exactly. They're just a bunch of wimps.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very much not a good thing at all.
It's not healthy. No.
No.
I'm trying to get a 99 slime, by the way, because we need 99 slime for the thing.
Oh, okay.
So I should bring this to Emily, and then should we go back to the mines?
Yeah, I'm going to drop this off at the community center real quick because I have a ghost fish, and then I'll be down in the mines.
Okay.
If you see any of these like crystal fruit or anything on your way, grab them because they work good down in the mines.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's a thing, like, and then because of that, like, my friends would, like in middle school and stuff, they would make sexual jokes about me all the time, or like,
yeah,
kind of like guilt me into like, because if they, dared me to flash them and I didn't do it, then I was just no fun, that kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so you know what I mean? Like, they put me into a bunch of positions that I just wasn't really comfortable with, but I felt like, if I don't do it, then I'm just no fun, and,
I would tell my friends to fuck off.
See, and I didn't.
Yeah,
like, I mean, sometimes
I
did.
Tell them that if they wanted to see it, then they had to earn it. And
yeah, see,
there's no way that their dumbasses were ever going to earn it.
There are things that, like, I did tell them, like, I didn't put up with,
Mm-hmm.
but for some reason, being sexualized was just something that I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, I was born,
I was
born
we need
with
to go to the
these.
festival of...
Oh yeah, we need to go to the festival. Okay, we'll go
we can
go mining tomorrow. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
But yeah, so, and like, but then like at the same time, I had that ex who tried to pressure me to do like things with him that I wasn't ready for.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so adamant that I just was not going to do it, and he just had to fucking deal with it, that he ended up breaking up with me because other girls would, so.
Right.
It was kind of, I had my boundaries, but I didn't have enough of them, because to me, like, certain things were just like, well, whatever, like.
Well, and what's funny to me is I was so... Where are you going?
I was just seeing if Emily was in there.
Oh, nobody will be in there because of the festival.
Gotcha.
I was so, like, naive about certain things that, like, even though I was constantly, like, sexually harassed without really realizing that I was sexually harassed, I was, like, so, like, inexperienced and, like, naive about stuff that I remember when I was dating Joel, he would, like, say things like, oh, I want you so much. And I didn't realize he was talking about sex.
Yeah.
Because I was young. I wasn't going to have sex with him. I was freaking 15 years old. And so I would get annoyed and be like, hello, we're already dating. What are you talking about? And, like,
yeah.
I was kind of mean to him a lot of the time because he would annoy me by saying stupid shit like that because I was too naive to even know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Like, my brain would have never went there that that's what he was referring to. And it wasn't genuinely until I was an adult that I realized what the heck he was talking about. And then I was like, oh, that's what he meant.
And he was just being violently rejected every time.
I was rude. Like, sometimes I would break up with him because I would get so annoyed that he kept saying that.
And I love that he never even was like, no, that's not what I mean.
Yeah, no, never.
But,
yeah,
see. But then, and then with, I don't know. And, like, see, and then there's just, like, the really casual, how, like, I remember being, okay, well, first off, I remember being way too young and, being, like, whistled at and stuff as I was walking.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I don't know, I know that there are some people out there who, like, blush and giggle and find it endearing, but it just irritates me because I'm like, cool, I don't really want your commentary on how I'm looking, like,
exactly.
I'm just walking down the fucking street right now, like, stop.
Oh, bless me.
But then, there's also, like, but also, it startles me. Like, I don't like to be startled. I get pissed off when somebody startles me. So if I'm walking down the street and you scream something at me and, like, make me jump, I'm gonna want to punch you in the face. I'm not gonna feel endeared.
I've been walking, like, home from the beach or something before and been wolf whistled, or one time somebody screamed nice out the window at me, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I did not feel complimented. at all. You need to
No.
go to one of the holes and start fishing.
Yeah, I know. I was just pushing the wrong button.
Oh.
But yeah, like, exactly. And I'm not, like... No, but another thing, too, is they'll do it in front of my children. Like, if I'm walking with my kid, they don't care. They'll still scream things at me.
Exactly. Yeah. My kid was with me. I was literally... When this happened, I'm pretty sure Lucas was still small enough to be in a stroller. And I was like, ew, dude. Like, I'm pushing a kid in a stroller.
Yeah.
Like,
how trashy do you think I am where I'm going to be like, ooh, yeah, pick me up, let's go somewhere with my kid. You know, like...
Exactly. Well, and, like, even now, I get... Because I am obviously divorced, and as people start to find out, I get messages. And I'm not, like, some stunning supermodel. So it's not like, you know, oh, these guys just can't, you know, whatever. Literally, it's just they hear, oh, divorced woman, they immediately think she must be desperate, and they shoot their shot.
Yeah.
And, like, okay, if you want to message me and, you know, ask me if I'm looking to go out on a date or even just hook up with you, fine, whatever. But when I tell you no, don't throw a
Drop
fit.
it.
And don't start sending me pictures of your anatomy, because I don't want to see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got that even when I was married. I would get married guys that I went to school with who, I'm sorry, but their wives were 10 times prettier than me. They would be messaging me, sending me pictures of their dick and wanting to hook up. And it's like, buddy, I'm not going to help you cheat on your wife. And I am
that's
married.
So gross.
And then now that I'm single, I get those same guys like, oh, now that you're not married, you still are, my dude. You still are. And it's like, just because someone is divorced does not mean that they want to date you or sleep with you or see your dick.
No,
like,
absolutely
I am not desperate. I am not out here crying into my pillow because I don't have a man. Like,
well, and like, oh, hold on. Gag the smell. Well, okay, and another thing too. Okay, well, also,
I won?
Oh, yay!
Nice. I got a sailor cap, a dress spinner, a barbed hook, and a magnet bait.
That's fun.
Yeah, I can't use any of them right now because I don't have the right kind of fishing pole, but that's okay.
You can save them for later.
Yeah.
Well, and another thing is, I have felt unsafe. First off, there have been times when, like, you know, like I said, as a child, I wasn't safe. Like, I had to, I mean, obviously my experience wasn't as bad as some people's, you know, it stayed relatively benign, but, like, the fact that I couldn't even just be, like, sleeping in bed, you know, like, at a friend's house without something creepy, and then, family, I guess.
Yeah. But
family's
still.
house. Worse, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
that is worse in my opinion.
But then, but then, like, I was 20, 21 maybe, when Jay and I were first living in California. And this is part of why, you know, like, you know, guys are like, well, when we yell at you when you're walking down the street, like, it's just a compliment, like, you don't have to feel worried, like, it's not scary, blah, 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 stop acting like it is, stop being dramatic, you know, that kind of a thing. I'm headed to the mine, okay?
Oh, shit, that's right, I forgot we were doing that. Yes.
That's okay, you're taking care of the chicken, so. But, you know, just whatever, and they'll kind of, like, play it off, but then, okay, when I was 20 or 21, and we were first living in California, I was walking. Okay, so we lived in, like, kind of a small town, but, like, it's not exactly, it's kind of like a trashy small town, but it's still safer than, like, a lot of surrounding towns, you know?
Similar to where I currently live.
No. That city is way safer. It's a little trashy sometimes, but way safer.
I guess the next town over is the trashy one.
Yes, the next town over is the trashy one. Yeah. But speaking of those people,
Uh-huh.
so yeah, I was walking from, it was probably like 9 o'clock at 8 or 9. I don't know. It was dark already, but I was walking from my work to my, current husband, then boyfriend's work, which was across town. And it was maybe like a mile and a half walk. Not like super far, but I I got into like the little downtown area and some guy like whistled at me. And at that point, you know, I hadn't really like I hadn't really gotten to the mindset yet to realize that that shouldn't be done. Like, but I also still didn't like it. But to me it was so like normal or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like looked at the guy and like rolled my eyes, but just like gave him like a small wave, And then he, like, I guess that caught his attention because he was driving past me at the time, and then he turned around and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. How are you?" And he's like, "Can't complain." And I'm like, "That's good." And then he's like, "So, what are you doing tonight? You want to hang out?" And I was like, "No, I'm fine. I'm busy and I have a boyfriend. Thank you." And he's like, "Well, he doesn't have to know." And I was like, "No." And I just kept walking. So then this guy comes around the other, like, he turned down a street. So I was like, "Oh, I got golden ore."
Oh, good, finally.
Yay. But he turned down a street and he started like he like came around the thing and like pulled onto like a street that I was about to pass because it was like by in front of a library, so it was like a pull around kind of thing. And I crossed the street to like be away from him because I didn't want him to bug me anymore. Oh gosh, get away from me. No, stop. I'm pushing the wrong button. I hate it. And so oh God, stop. I hate that I have to use the keyboard because I keep always pushing like the wrong button, and then I make the menu pop up and they're just attacking me because my menu is up.
Whoops.
Anyway, so he yelled something at me and I just didn't respond. And then he opened up the passenger's side, or no, he leaned over and opened up the passenger side door. And he's like, "Hop in." And I just didn't acknowledge him again. And then he pulled around, opened the door, and like started to get out, like he was coming towards me. And like leaned out to try to grab me because he had pulled like right onto the street right in front of me. And I started walking faster. And he just kept turning down side streets and like ending up everywhere that I was. So eventually I was passing like a Taco Bell, and there was like this really tall dude coming out of the Taco Bell. I didn't know this guy, but he was walking with his headphones in, and I ran up next to him and I'm like, "Can I please walk with you?" And he's like, "Yeah, are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm just like being followed and I really like to walk with you." And he's like, "Oh, okay." So then he walked with me, and one of our friends who worked with Jay had like come to meet me because Jay knew I was on my way, so he asked him to come meet me. And so he did, and finally like we met up with him, and the guy who had been walking with me turned around because I guess he had like passed up his street by a lot to walk with me.
Oh, that's so nice.
I know, and I like gave him a hug and thanked him, and I'm like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." And then I walked the rest of the way with our friend, but I was like shaking and crying by the time I got to like Jay's work because like if I that could have gone really wrong. Like that could have been really, really bad. And like at that and that's the thing is like, yeah, it could just be some guy being like immature and wanting to like compliment you or whatever, but it also could be somebody genuinely like being a predator. Like
Exactly.
And you don't know, and then you never know how they're gonna react when you reject them.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of men lose their shit and cannot handle rejection.
Well, and you can literally be friends with someone, sometimes even for years, and not know that they're a creep until they're a creep to you.
Yeah. It's really, really, really messed up. And, like, thankfully, I did have a lot of, like, male friends growing up who were really, like, protective over me when it came to, like, when I was drinking and stuff. Like, they'd kind of keep an eye and make sure that no guys, bugged me and stuff. But there were still guys who did bug me, who they had to say something to. You know, like there was always one around.
Exactly.
And it's so like, and the whole like not all men thing drives me crazy because you're right, very much not all men, but enough, like way more than enough that we have to, that there's no way of knowing,
Exactly. Well, and like I had that one particular friend of mine that would keep an eye on me, but when I actually did have something happen, he would have never suspected the person that did it.
No.
He would have left me in a room with that person without a second thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know what I mean? Like, nobody would have thought twice to leave me alone with this guy, even completely passed out drunk off my ass, because this was supposedly my really, really good friend who nobody would ever suspect to do something to me, including me. So, none of my friends would have thought to even check on me if he's like, oh, I'm going to go make sure she's okay. He could have been gone for hours and nobody would have thought to even think twice because he's making sure that I'm okay because we're such good friends.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's, you can't.
You can't just say this person wouldn't do this because you really don't know what that person would or wouldn't do.
Sometimes they would.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like... and then there's like, a lot of it has to do with the fact that, and I'm gonna like, oh, why is there like a cave here that we can't go into?
Oh, there's lots of them just because these are mines and, mines have caves.
Okay. But yeah, and like that's another thing though, is like there's a psychology behind it. Like when people talk about toxic masculinity, there's a lot of things, but one of them is the fact that, oopsie, go down, that boys and men they're raised with a certain level of like entitlement and like this feeling that they have just the right to do what they want because they're boys and boys just will be boys and that, and the whole like well, girls are more mature than boys, that excuses their disgusting behavior. And then the fact that, like, they're raised to feel they're basically, it's the parents who are like, well, my child can't see boobs, they can't see somebody breastfeeding because blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, what you're doing is you're teaching your kid that they can't look at that because that's just a sexual being and that's not, like, a natural, thing, and you're just... don't sexualize women constantly to your young boys, and then maybe they'll grow up to see us as more than just that,
Exactly.
Instead, you're doing the opposite. Like, you're saying you're trying to, like, protect them from this, or, oh my god, I'm being attacked by these bats, I can't go down the ladder, and I'm gonna die.
Oh no.
Like, this is seriously an issue right now. Why won't it let me go down this fucking ladder? Oh my god, finally. Holy crap. Please protect me from that ghost so I can eat something.
You're good. It's almost dead.
Okay. Anyway.
Well, what's interesting about that is my sons, my younger two, they both happen to somehow end up on boob talk, as they called it, which was where their TikTok For You page suddenly became filled with African women, like literally women in Africa, that were topless. Because, if you've ever seen any kind of, like, documentaries or anything like that on African women, they tend to be topless a lot, especially if they are pregnant or nursing, because it's just easier that way. And to them, it's nothing. It's no big deal. So,
it's absolutely normal.
They did have,
as it should be.
Yeah, exactly. They did have something on their waist, and they had, like, their headdresses sometimes, and, like, their, I don't know if they're called headdresses, like the things that they wear, like, on their heads sometimes.
Oh, yes, yeah. Yeah.
Ooh,
it depends on the...
If you come
it depends on the...
Yeah, you're going to get a crystal dagger.
Oh, yay.
But anyway, so they both got that, and, did not act like complete creeps about it. It was just like, oh, that's interesting. Like, I don't know why this suddenly is what they feel like I'm interested in. And it was just, something like, okay, that's all right. But like, it wasn't like a, ooh, let me look. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a, I understand that that's the culture, and you know, I just don't know why
Oh,
TikTok
look, some
thinks
boobs.
that. Yeah, I don't know why TikTok thinks that this is something for me, but sure.
Yeah.
So you know.
Get away from me. Get away from me. I hate it. I hate it. I'm gonna have to leave the caves, man. Like,
Yeah, it's already 10:20. We probably should anyway.
I'm just gonna run and hope that I don't get attacked before I get up the ladder because my thing likes to not work. Yes, leave the mine. Leave the mine. Leave the mine. Thank you. Dude, I panic so much because of how, like, often my X doesn't work.
Yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
I thought that was interesting that was like a,
Well,
like not even, like it wasn't even like, even for my 11-year-old, it wasn't like an embarrassing thing. It was just like, what about me makes TikTok think that this is what I would be interested in?
the same thing with, like, my 10-year-old. Like, he has, there was a, what was it? What is the word I'm looking for?
I do not know.
Advertisement. There was an advertisement. I kept wanting to say TikTok because we were talking about TikToks. Oh, bless you. But yeah, there was an advertisement for Victoria's Secret. And he was just like sitting there watching it, and I was like, "What are you watching?" And he's like, "I don't know." And I was like, "That's a Victoria's Secret ad." And he's like, "Oh." And I was like, and he's like, "I don't know, it just came up." And I was like, "Oh, yay." But it was like, it was, but like,
funny.
yeah, it was just like, okay, you're just kind of chilling watching a Victoria's Secret ad, okay. But like, it wasn't like, he wasn't being like, ooh, like, he wasn't like watching it in secret or like making anything weird of it. He was just like, I don't know. Yeah. I've never seen, but he also doesn't show any interest in like anyone yet, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But still, like, I've never, like, human anatomy has never been made into like a big deal for us.
Yes, exactly. As it should be, or shouldn't be.
Well, and the thing is that the cultures where they have the most like purity culture and, you know, things like that are the ones that have the highest cases of like sexual assault and stuff.
Yeah.
Because when you make something like, you know, like a big deal, like something that's kind of risque and like whatever, then people are going to want to like, it's going to be like more enticing, you know, it's going to be like, oh, why isn't my ex working? But when you just make it like a casual thing, like, yeah, those are boobs, they do this, cool. Then, like, you know, obviously, yeah, they might still be attracted to them at some point, but it's not going to be like, I have to look at those right now, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't think that. I'm hoping that, like, as generations go, like, it slowly starts to become less of an issue of, like, you know, young girls being harassed or assaulted or, you know, whatever. Because they're not being, like, they're not being raised in a culture where it's, where there's as much, like, body shaming and as much, like, slut shaming and, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff is frowned upon now. Do we need a winter root? I think, a coffee bean?
I don't know.
I have a coffee bean. I can plant the coffee bean, but I don't think I can right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really, I just get really disappointed in parents who think it's still the right way to, like, shelter their children and, you know, just make it seem like girls and women are nothing but, you know, sex from their head to toes. Like,
Yeah.
it's extremely unhealthy.
It really is. Extremely.
For both sexes, extremely unhealthy.
Yes.
And all genders.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. You know. Yeah. I could rant for a really long time on this subject and how much I really hate, like, um, what is the word? I can't think of words today. How much I hate, just like the purity culture, the fact that we're still seen as objects, and that it's still like told that our virginity makes us worth something, or that like you still see it in like Facebook comments, especially, and stuff, all the time, where there are still like there are still men who think like that I mean, I guess they were raised in our generation, so there's still time for the next generation to not be this way. But just the whole thing where they'll be like, I don't want a woman who has slept with this many men, or a woman who just like placing a lot of value on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because they don't do that. Like, they've never done that with guys.
No, they haven't.
It's just women who, like, you can shame and... I don't know. How do I do this gold thing?
You need 5 of them. Do you have 5 of them?
Oh, I have 3 of them. Dang.
Hand them to me, because I have some in my thing already in my inventory.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, wait. I'm supposed to give them all to you. Ha! I forgot it only gives you one at a time. That's another thing I was going to say. Speaking of Facebook comments, that's like, if you are arguing, especially, which, yeah, I'm going to go here, especially with a Republican man, if you are arguing about anything, or like making good points about anything, they'll automatically go to insulting your looks.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Or like talking, like, you'll talk, like, you'll say something about like you'll say something about how all women have experienced like sexual harassment or something, and it's, instead of like just any kind of human decency back, it's, oh yeah, right, nobody would want to touch you, nobody would assault you, like, that kind of thing.
The abortion ban as well.
Did you?
Yeah, a comment that said that the only women that are complaining about this ban would never have somebody willing to knock them up anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, you'll yeah, and like, that's the thing, like, they'll be like I'll be having a conversation about something, or an argument, or whatever you want to call it, about something, and I'll be making perfectly fine and articulate points and being calm, but they'll snag a picture of me where I had blue hair and be like, liberal, which, by the way, I don't even call myself a liberal, but like, liberal woman with blue hair, obviously you're going to be over emotional, and men don't think this is hot, and they'll just like things like that, and I'm like, what the fuck are you even talking about?
Emotions.
Yeah. Oh, and also how your looks are tied to your worth, of how,
or whatever.
Yeah, like how valid your arguments are depends on how you look. Like,
yeah, because pretty girls can't be smart, and ugly girls don't get to have opinions.
Yeah, exactly. In other words, just don't listen to women, because men. Like, ugh, it's so gross. I fucking hate it. Sometimes I can't believe I'm married to a white man.
Why white?
Just kidding. Huh?
Why a white
A man in general.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. A man in general. But, white men have all the privilege.
Oh, well, yeah, that is true.
White men have an extra special entitlement because they've never... And white cis straight men have never been oppressed. So...
Yeah, that is very true.
So it just adds that layer. But obviously I'm just kidding because not all white men are that way. I'm married to one and I'm raising one, so... But, yeah. It just bothers me that it's still such a problem. Because, like, sometimes I'm like, wow, sexism really, really probably is getting better. And then you go online into, like, any comment section of anything that involves, like, women's rights or, women speaking out about any of their issues or just anything like that. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, no, sexism is still well and alive and well. Like,
yeah.
No shortage
Especially
of that.
on Facebook. That's why
Yeah.
I spend most of my time on Twitter.
See, and I never go on... Did you say Twitter?
Yeah.
I never go on Twitter because I've read a lot of awful stuff on there too, but...
Yeah, that was a joke, because Twitter's really terrible.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm not sure what Twitter you're on, but I want to be a part of it, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, my Twitter's not bad, because I don't follow people that say terrible things, but, like, I see some tweets.
I don't follow people necessarily who say terrible things, but I sometimes read the people who I follow's comment sections, and people say terrible things in them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a lot. I'm just tired.
Right? Seriously. It's kind of
like,
exhausting.
Do we have a sea urchin already? Oh, look.
I'm not sure.
Probably, though. I think I've seen them before, so I'm pretty much sure we do, but I'm gonna look anyway. Okay, but yeah, that was a lot of ranting and a lot of anger.
Yeah. Alright, well, I guess we can end this one. I'll wait until we go to bed, obviously, but then we can move on to the next topic if you have time for a next topic.
I have a half hour.
Okay, then we can do one more video.
Somewhat shorter, yeah.
So, all right. In that case, I'm just gonna pause it, and we'll just I'll do my outro right now.
Okay.
So give me a second. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. That was our video on creepy men and how creepy they can sometimes be. So I will cross that one off the list. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and see you tomorrow. Bye.